Hi, I'm Elon Musk. You might know me as the guy building rockets and electric cars, or the guy who survived both malaria and the chaos of starting a company.
Chaos means disorder or confusion, where things are out of control and unpredictable. It refers to situations that are messy and hard to manage. The phrase, the chaos of starting a company, is a metaphor. It doesn't mean total disorder, but refers to the many difficulties and challenges that entrepreneurs face when building a business.
Or the guy who survived both malaria and the chaos of starting a company. I was born in South Africa in 1971. From a young age, I was a dreamer, fascinated by science fiction, space, and technology. My childhood wasn't easy. I was often bullied in school for being the quiet kid who preferred reading over playing sports. One time, a group of boys pushed me down a flight of stairs.
The phrase "a flight of stairs" refers to a series of steps that connect two levels or floors in a building. The term flight is often thought of as a metaphor for an upward or downward journey, as if you're flying between floors. In this context, it means an uninterrupted series of steps between two levels or landings. As a result, he was pushed down the entire set of stairs, leading to a dangerous fall as he tumbled all the way down, causing significant injuries.
One time, a group of boys pushed me down a flight of stairs and beat me so badly that I passed out. I ended up in the hospital. I was different. While other kids played sports or hung out together, I buried myself in books, absorbed in technology, and exploring new ideas. At school, I was quiet, introverted, and struggled to understand social cues. I now know that some of this was due to my Asperger's syndrome, but back then it just made me feel like I didn't belong. Other kids saw me as strange, which made me an easy target for bullying. Another time, the same group of boys attacked me until I lost consciousness.
Consciousness means being awake and aware of what's happening around you. When you lose consciousness, you pass out or faint, meaning you're no longer aware of your surroundings. This can happen due to injury, pain, or exhaustion. And during this time, you can't respond to anything.
Another time, the same group of boys attacked me until I lost consciousness. I ended up in the hospital once more. That brutal experience left me with injuries that took time to heal. Physically, I recovered. But emotionally, it left deeper scars. Though the bullying didn't stop right away, it pushed me further into my passions. I focused even more on what I loved: reading, learning about technology, and programming. These became both my escape and my strength. Not long after, I taught myself to code and created my first video game at just 12 years old. That sense of control, the ability to create and innovate, became my refuge. My early career wasn't a smooth ride. When I was 24, I co-founded Zip2 with my brother. But we struggled to convince anyone to believe in us. We were so broke. We slept in the office and showered at the local YMCA. Eventually, we sold Zip2, and I used that money to start X.com, which later became PayPal. However, even with PayPal, I faced resistance and was eventually pushed out of the company due to disagreements about its direction and my management style. Although I was pushed out, PayPal became a massive success, and I still held a significant stake in the company. When it was sold to eBay, I received approximately $250 million, with $180 million after taxes. At that point, I had become a multi-millionaire. I could have easily sat back, enjoyed the wealth, and lived comfortably for the rest of my life. But something inside me kept pushing, urging me to take on bigger challenges and create something that would truly make a difference. Instead of taking it easy, I chose to take a huge risk. I invested nearly all of the money into my next ventures: SpaceX and Tesla. Many thought I was crazy, but I believed in something far greater. People doubted me.
Private companies can't do what NASA does. This guy thinks he's going to build rockets cheaper than governments. It's impossible.
SpaceX will fail. He doesn't understand how difficult aerospace is.
Electric cars are toys for rich people. They'll never replace gasoline-powered vehicles.
He doesn't know the first thing about making cars. He'll never compete with established automakers.
In the early days of SpaceX, we faced failure after failure. Our first 3 rocket launches exploded. Most people, even within the company, thought we were finished. Tesla didn't have it easy either. The car industry mocked us. Investors bailed.
Bailed means someone quit or left quickly to avoid trouble or loss. In this context, investors bailed means the investors pulled their money out of the company and stopped supporting it. They didn't believe the company would succeed and didn't want to risk losing more money. So they decided to leave the project.
The car industry mocked us. Investors bailed. And the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. In 2008, during the financial crisis, I had to make a tough choice. Do I save Tesla or SpaceX? I didn't have enough money to keep both alive. At one point, I was close to selling Tesla to Google. We were nearly at a deal because Tesla was struggling to survive. I had invested my last dollar and even borrowed money from friends just to pay rent. I was broke, stressed, and exhausted. But then, at the last possible moment, things started to turn around. SpaceX succeeded with its fourth launch, and NASA awarded us a $1.6 billion contract. Shortly after, Tesla secured an investment, and both companies survived. That was the turning point. People often see the success, but don't realize the years of struggle and near failure behind it. I've faced constant rejection from investors, ridicule from the automotive industry, and even criticism from people like Warren Buffett, who rejected my ideas outright. But I've always believed that, to achieve something truly great, you have to be willing to take risks and ignore the naysayers.
A naysayer is someone who constantly says no or disagrees with ideas or plans. They are often negative and don't believe something will succeed. The word comes from nay, which simply means no. Naysayers focus on what could go wrong instead of offering helpful solutions.
You have to be willing to take risks and ignore the naysayers. What I realized through my journey is that you don't need to be extraordinary to achieve extraordinary things. With the right mindset, ordinary people can change the world.